The Old City, the ancient heart of Jerusalem, basks in the morning light. The city wakes up gradually, as it has for thousands of years. My day has hardly begun, but others are already going to prayers or school. Jews, Muslims, and Christians. I see the signs of religion everywhere as I make my way through the quarters of the Old City. Ziad Abu Snani is already up and about. The Palestinian baker is taking me to his small family-run business in the Jewish quarter. For generations, the Abu Snanis have made bread in Jerusalem. Like all bakers, they start work early. The store is small and crowded. This is where the pita bread is made and the special kak, or bread rings, that you can only get in Jerusalem. Ziad Abu Snani assures me that his bread is all made by hand, not machine. It's hard work, he says, but when it's over, it's a good feeling to hold something he's made himself. It's an accomplishment. Abu Snani's bread is kosher. That's a deal agreed on so the Muslim baker can stay here in the Jewish quarter and sell his bread to Jewish customers. Only Jews are likely to walk by here. There are hardly any Palestinians left in the quarter. Most of them moved to other quarters after Israel took control of Jerusalem in 1967. Rabbi Shalom enters the bakery, as he does every morning. He's come to light the oven, which permits the bakery to call its products kosher. Abu Snani has the only kosher Muslim bakery anywhere in the area. Rabbi Shalom says everyone in the neighborhood likes the baker, except for a few. He dismisses them with a gesture. He even likes to call himself an Abu Snani. Ziad says the rabbi knows every member of his family and that they all respect him. But there's less respect from some of the people here, in particular from Jewish settler organizations who resent the presence of the Muslim bakery. Ziad has been offered a lot of money to sell his bakery and leave the Jewish quarter. The extremist settlers want Muslims out of the Old City. But so far, the baker has stood up to their demands. For Ziad Abu Snani and his fellow Muslims, this is a historically important area. He says, of course, there are problems between extremist Jews and Muslims. Someone sprayed death to the Arabs on his door. They don't like us here at all, he says, but he has to earn a living. This is his home, he says, and the Muslims won't give it up. Many Muslims say they would give anything for the sake of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is everything to the Muslims, says Ziad Abu Snani. This is where Allah gave instructions to the Prophet. Ziad calls it the third holiest city for Muslims. After Mecca and Medina comes Jerusalem, the most precious place for all Muslims, as he puts it. I can't resist a piece of delicious zatar, a kind of bread with herbs and sesame seeds. Then the fresh bread is loaded onto carts to be delivered to the Muslim quarter. I leave too and head down the street. Palestinians from the West Bank and Gaza have often told me they long to visit the Old City one day, but most of them don't get permission from the Israeli authorities. Israel also decides who gets to attend Friday prayers on the Temple Mount. It's hard to forget politics, even for a moment. Jerusalem has been a bone of contention for millennia. I meet up with Mira Eliav, an American Jew who's been living in the Old City since 1967, right near the Western Wall, part of the ruins of an ancient Jewish temple complex. Mira says she actually prefers to stay in her quarter, but sometimes she likes to go to the Arab market.
I only buy in the market vegetables and fruits, and then I have my tailor and the guy who irons.
Religion also provides a living for many people here. The ones who stop by Mira Eliav's jewelry store in the Jewish quarter are mainly tourists on their way to see the Western Wall.
I feel, again, very special that even though there's no temple at the moment, and then again, the future may be that there will be, if there is a future that we can predict, we can't, but maybe one day we'll have a temple again. And then I won't have to go far away to see the temple because I live here.
Every religion here claims the Old City and its sacred sites for itself. Jews and Muslims live side by side, but not truly together, says Eliav.
We never tell them to leave the place because it's everybody's place. But the Jewish quarter is for Jewish people to live in. And I wouldn't want to have an Arab neighbor. If you're asking me that question, if you're not, I'm telling you the truth. I want to stay in the Jewish quarter with Jewish people and not with Arabs.
Others are brought together here by their faith. Sometimes the whole world seems to be on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Every day, hundreds of Christians travel the Via Dolorosa on the route Jesus took to his crucifixion. But there's little opportunity in this crowded street for contemplation or quiet prayer. Near the Via Dolorosa, I visit the photo store owned by Kevork Kavetian. His family has had the shop since the 1920s. There are Armenian Christians, a minority within a minority, but the number of Christians in the Old City is dwindling. I'm being taken on a journey into the past. Kevork's father took these photographs.
If you look through my father's pictures, you can see coexistence that there used to be. Here, for example, look, he's a Jewish shoe mender with an Arab client. There used to be coexistence. Why not today? They could do it. They could work together. They could live together. This is it. The extremists on both sides, they are the ones who have the upper hand. They are doing all manipulation.
Ultimately, says the photo dealer, it's the residents of the Old City who have to get along in everyday life. And everyone in this diverse city plays an essential part.
I take Jerusalem as a piece of beautiful mosaico, pieces. Armenians, Greeks, Jews, Arabs, Muslims. Take out one piece. The whole picture is ruined. This is the beauty of it. It should be as it is. This is how I take Jerusalem.
Thousands of years of history, 3 great world religions on a single, small, crowded spot. This is Jerusalem's burden and its attraction. And for all those who live here, it's a challenge.